good afternoon, good night, and good morning. Thank you for tuning in to RETV News Break. I'm Tyren.
And Nicole with your weekly RETV News Break. Every week, Ty and I bring you news, trends, and more with a positive spin. It's a bride, or at least she will be soon enough. Actress and director Gabourey Sidibe covered Bride's digital style issue with her fiance, Brandon Frankel, opening up about plans for their nuptials, which they say will happen in spring 2023. The couple engaged in October 2020 after meeting on dating app Raya, initially wanted to keep things so low-key that they were considering not having a wedding at all. The entire time we have been engaged, I've always been like, no, we shouldn't have a wedding, Sidibe said in the cover story. Maybe we'll throw a barbecue, get married in the bathroom, and then we'll come out and tell everyone we're married. After having a change of heart, she now wants to have some type of upbeat, one-of-a-kind event to celebrate their love. It can't be a traditional wedding. Really, it can't be, she said. I don't want anything done the traditional way. Our relationship is very much on our terms, and I want it to be fun, like a true party. And in keeping with the anything but traditional theme, the bride-to-be sees herself shirking a white gown for bold colors and prints, and usually curls and updos for Singalese twist or cornrows. Honestly, whatever I wear on the wedding day will probably be African print. It might have a little white, so it looks like a wedding dress, but it's definitely going to be colorful, she said. And nothing adds color to the celebration like culture. The actress plans to integrate her Singalese roots with Frankel's Jewish background, likely through a specialty menu. Including my culture in the wedding is important to me for sure. I've been feeding him some Singalese food in the last few years, especially in the pandemic, she said. It will be a nice mix of African and Jewish touches. I want his background to absolutely be there because this is a partnership. However things pan out, this opportunity to feel like a bride a year early was something she treasured. This was a lot more fun than I was expecting, she said. She's a bride, a cover girl, and a very loved woman. Lucky me, Sidibe wrote on Instagram. Thank you, brides, for having me and my groom, my partner, my love, who looks so handsome in his suits. We appreciate the rehearsal for our actual wedding. I'm so happy for her.
What up, Gabby? Yeah. Or Precious, as they used to call her from her movie. But she's been in more than just Precious, though.
She's a person.
I know, but I'm just saying, most people know her from Precious.
Gotcha.
When she was in Precious. I mean, she's been in more than Precious. She was in Tower Heist as well.
Okay.
The movie Tower Heist, what was it, Ben Affleck and Eddie Murphy? I know it was Eddie Murphy. I think it was Ben Affleck, where they all worked in like a Trump Tower situation, and the owner of the tower wound up conning the employees into giving over their retirement to invest.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And once they invested, then they were supposed to get all this money back and so forth to like kind of double, triple their money for them to becoming rich. So that way, when they finally did retire, they would have be set for life, so on and so forth. Well, come to find out, none of that happened. And I think she played. She didn't play a maid, but she played. I don't know, but she played in more than just Precious is my point. Yeah.
And she's a director as well.
Yeah, and she played in the show that came on Fox. The one with Jussie Smollett and Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard up, man. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Dak Nabbit. Yeah, it'll come to us later. I can't never think of shows. It's like it took me a minute to think of Tower Heist for a quick second. But yeah, she's played in quite a few things. So shout outs to her, definitely for sure. I know she's been in the news for a variety of different reasons. I know at one point in time they were talking about her losing a lot of weight and things like that. So to see that she's found this happiness in love. Yeah. I'm definitely, just happy for her.
Definitely. And I'm super excited that she's going the non-traditional route.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't know she was Singalese.
Neither did I.
And her husband is Jewish, or her fiance or future-to-be husband is Jewish. Yeah. That's an interesting mix. And she was like, I'm going to feed you some Singalese food, so you're going to get a little bit of this culture up in your Jewish body. I wasn't going to say what I was going to say, but Jewish, non-seasoned food body. Yeah, that's what you're going to get. Yeah.
Anywho.
Shout out to Gabby. I'm happy for you, Gabourey Sidibe, and all that you are doing. And hopefully we'll see you on the big screen or small screen sometime again soon. In our next story, a surprise act of kindness has made Wiley College's graduation day even brighter. On May 7th, the historically black college class of 2022 received the news that their remaining balances were paid off by an anonymous donor. According to a press release, for the college's 133rd commencement convocation, the donation was announced to over 100 graduates by President and CEO Herman J. Felton Jr. You are debt-free. You do not owe the college a penny. Man, I wish that was an announcement that I got or get or something. I don't know. If you have a balance, you had a balance, Felton said in a video tweeted by Wiley College. Per the press release, the donor cleared an estimated total balance of $300,000. With the gift, the graduating class has been provided the freedom to focus on their future careers instead of student debt. What's more, recently, another pair of donors shared a similar hope for wanting students' endeavors to not be stifled by financial barriers. As previously reported by Afrotech, co-founder and managing partner of Cirrus, Frank Baker, and his wife Laura donated $1.2 million to Florida A&M FAMU students to provide funding for students who are qualified to graduate in 4 years but have an outstanding account balance to the university. In 2020, we established Cirrus Florida's office, and as part of that, we believed it was important to invest in the new community, Frank said in a statement. Through our conversations with FAMU, we learned that there are extremely capable students who are able to graduate in 4 years solely due to limited financial resources. We also discovered that the 4-year graduation rate is a key metric in determining the amount of funding FAMU receives from the state of Florida. This made our investment decision pretty easy. FAMU students in the workforce sooner, potentially unlocking more state funding.
Debt-free.
Debt-free.
Those are the magic words.
It is so dope to see these millionaires and these billionaires giving back or just giving in general, because some of them, I don't know if the Sirius Frank and his wife Laura attended FAMU. I don't even know who they are, to be completely honest with you. But, you know, for them to be able to donate that amount of money to say, you know, we want to wipe the slate clean for, you know, your graduating students or students who can potentially graduate but just don't have the money to graduate. Yeah. We're going to wipe y'all clean. And then, or the anonymous donor who actually wiped out all of Wiley College's student debt, their graduating class of 2022. I mean, like, that's just like, yeah. I mean, it's funny because when people say, oh, I hit the lottery, I'm going to give back. When I hit the lottery, oh, dear God, I hit the lottery, I'll do this and I'll do that. But to actually see people doing it, whether it's somebody who hit the lottery or not, I don't know. That's just phenomenal. Like that's just dope. That's something that has to make you feel really good deep down inside.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure it allows the students to be able to breathe, or I should say the graduates to be able to just breathe. That's less pressure on them that, you know, that they have to adhere to, and they can kind of, you know, be free of figuring out what the next steps are in their lives.
Yeah.
What will be interesting to see, though, in the next maybe, you know, 10, 15, 20 years from now, if those students, of those who have received, you know, this debt-free gift, whether it was Wiley College or we heard of some of the others, you know, in the last couple of years, if they come back and do the same.
That would be dope, and they should, because you know, I think of it like this way: when you are debt free, it does allow you to do other things, like you said, focus on your career, your family, and so forth. So I think it would be dope if every graduate of that class were able to set aside at least $1,000, $2,000 and say, hey, I want to donate this back to the scholarship for an upcoming class to be able to also graduate debt free. That would be dope. Yeah, because especially if you have over 100 students and things like that. Yeah, that would be dope. I mean, especially with that would just be dope.
So congratulations to them. For the next story, there's no question that an athlete's mental health is just as important as their physical health and performance. And to make that clear, Nike has launched a new podcast to support the minds of its athletes, both on and off the field, as well as everyday athletes. This week, Nike announced no off-season, which brings light to difficult conversations surrounding mental health topics. Told from the perspective of the brand's top athletes, each episode will be guided by mental health experts and Crisis Text Line's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Shahari Turner, and Global Expansion Director, Natalia Dayan, LMSW. According to the program's press release, the goal of the podcast is to show those facing mental health challenges that they are not alone and that there is strength in asking for help. Most of the athletes featured have confronted mental health issues, ones that have posed challenges to their relationships, their identities, and their careers, the statement continued. These empathetic conversations will serve both the communities that need them most and the podcast listeners everywhere. No Off-Season will discuss topics surrounding grief, depression, and trauma through insights from NBA All-Star Karl Anthony Towns, Olympic shot putter Raven Saunders, gymnast Lori Hernandez, and more. As part of Nike's larger goal to provide mental health support in the sports world, No Off-Season is a platform aiming to destigmatize conversations around mental wellness. Mental health is a critical part of our overall personal wellness and fitness, said Vanessa Garcia Brito, Vice President of Communications at Nike. It is just as important as physical health to realize our full potential in sport and in life. At Nike, we know that in order for athletes to be successful, and it's important to cultivate a healthy mind and body for everyday life. No Off-Season provides a forum to bring more voices into the conversation around mental health and help destigmatize asking for support, Garcia Brito added. No one should feel alone. According to reports from Nike, nearly 1 in 2, which is 47%, of athletes only seek out mental health resources when they experience something traumatic. The athletic brand also says 95% of athletes reported that taking time to pause and reflect each day would make a difference. In the season's opening episode, Finding Purpose in Pain, Towns, a 26-year-old star of the Minnesota Timberwolves, opened up about losing his mother to COVID-19, his goal to uplift his community with mental health resources, and how he manages his self-worth, among other topics. Episodes of No Off-Season are now available to stream through Nike's Train podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Resources for mental health support are available 24/7. If you or someone you know needs mental health help, text STRENGTH to the Crisis Text Line at 741-741 to be connected to a certified crisis counselor. I think that is very impressive, and kudos to Nike for taking a stance, not just with, providing sponsorship to the athletes, but now even providing an outlet for them to be able to share, mental health resources.
I really applaud Nike for especially, providing a podcast or something to be able to help not just athletes, but, those who enjoy Nike products or just, in general Nike. Because as we know, mental health is not something new. It's something that's been, that's been an issue for our community, the African American community in general, for quite some time, and has been overlooked until recently, or shall I say that getting help has been overlooked until recently. So to be able to, encourage others to get help when needed and not suppress that, whether it's on the field or on the courts or in the swimming pools or anything else, any other athletic arenas, that's definitely helped, dope, because we know, those like Simone Biles and Naomi, I can't remember, there you go, Osaka, had taken time to step away from their sports to focus on their mental health and not be judged for doing so.
Right.
And so to encourage other athletes to do that is, I as I always say, it's pretty dope. I definitely like that.
Especially given their influence and knowing how many other people, especially young adults and teenagers who look up to athletes, by them vocalizing that, hey, I'm challenged in this area and need support. I'm praying it will also encourage younger adults and teenagers to do the same.
Yeah, I applaud Nike for what they're doing and hope, that many others will follow in their footsteps and continue to, support the, mental health awareness that is. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
In our final story, Anthony Anderson is an HBCU graduate. Yes. According to The Wrap, the Law and Order star, who plays Detective Kevin Bernard on NBC's long-running police procedural, graduated from Howard University with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the newly minted Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts. The outlet confirms that Anderson didn't receive an honorary degree. Rather, the outlet confirms the actor and comedian went back to class alongside his son Nathan to get the degree through an honest day's work. Previously, Anthony Anderson revealed that he dropped out of the prestigious HBCU for financial reasons, and was his son who inspired him to return to college. Thank you to my son at HotBoyNato, which I'm assuming is his Instagram, for inspiring me to return to school to finish my degree after he was accepted into Howard University. This is just the beginning, he wrote in part on his Instagram page. This is just the latest accomplishment made by the longtime actor whose success on shows such as Blackish, opposite the likes of Tracee Ellis Ross, where he earned an estimated $400,000 per episode before it went off the air, has earned him a $25 million net worth per Celebrity Net Worth. And, as he said, this is just the beginning. Let's take a look at how his two children are forging their own paths to success. According to her Instagram page, Kyra Anderson is a postpartum doula in Houston, Texas. Her account reads that she is a Mama's Glow certified doula, which means that she is part of a, quote, a global maternity education org offering doula services to fertility, expectant, and new mamas. Kira also said that she's been on a journey for a year. Like his father, Nathan Anderson is a graduate of Howard University. He is also following in his father's footsteps in the entertainment industry as he's an artist as well. So congratulations
to the Anderson family.
Exactly. Anthony, Kyra, and Nathan for doing it big. I think it's pretty dope that you were able to actually go back to school and graduate with your child, though.
Yeah.
Not
many can say that.
And I find it odd, especially considering the first story that I did was that he actually had to drop out for financial reasons, unfortunately. But then going on to be successful in his career afforded him the opportunity to be able to go back and not just, like many celebrities and so forth, get that honorary degree, but be able to go back and actually pay for your education, work for it, and proudly walk across the stage and say that you are a graduate of one of the most prestigious HBCUs there is.
As my grandfather told me, once you earn it, no one can take it away from you.
Exactly. So in order to, and to be able to do it with your son, super dope. And then have a daughter who's also doing it big time down in Houston as a doula. Yeah. And it sounds like she kind of does it her own way, does it a little, differently. I think that's definitely dope as well.
I'll definitely have to follow her page.
Yes. Hopefully maybe Anthony Anderson will, and I'm not digging your pockets and nothing like that, Anthony, but maybe he'll be able to go back and pay for the, everybody's debt at Howard and be like, oh, y'all graduate for free too.
Could be. You never know.
You never know. We know. We thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of RETV News Break.
Be sure to subscribe to RETV YouTube channel and Facebook pages for more great news and shows.
We look forward to seeing you again next week right here on RETV. Until then, be blessed and be great.
Hey, it's your girl Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. Right here on RETV every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Demita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On?
Tune in to Millionaire Man Cave, only on Relationship Entertainment Television, Tuesdays at 8 p.m.